Hey, welcome to a new vlog and a new do. Yeah, butchered my hair a couple days ago. Just got done uploading the last vlog, so that tells you, where we're at. We're gonna stick with the theme of new props. Last vlog was the pirate skins. That was something totally new for the haunt. This week we're working on another new prop, an old new prop, I guess you could call it. We're going to rework it totally. But here's what we're working with. If you remember right, a couple years back, for around $100, Big Lots had some skeletal dragons they were selling. And I bought one. My original intent, as you can see here on this right here, I have magnets I put on the bottom of them, was to set the thing up on top of my truck. We always park the truck out in front of the haunt, decorate it up with some skeletons and some weird lighting. And I figured this on the roof of it, we kind of touch it off. First night we had it up, worked fine. I can't leave it up though overnight because it would disappear. So naturally when we go to park the truck, I have to take the dragon down. Put it inside, put it in the back end of the truck, lock the canopy so it doesn't disappear. First night, worked fine. Second night, however, in the process of getting ready to take it down, we had a gust of wind come by, and I had two of the magnets loose off the metal. The other two, the wind was able to break loose, and the whole thing came crashing down to the ground, and the thing took some damage. First noticeably is here. This is the back feet. And as you can see, the spinal cord broke, which also went and broke the tail off. We also cracked the support for the front leg when it hit, and for the wing joint. And then the wings got beat up really good. Since then, it's been laying pretty much in this state. In various areas of the shop. I keep moving it to get to things. And I decided, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I didn't want to throw it out. I still want to make it, we'll use it somehow. And this year I figured out what I'm going to do with it. We are going to turn it into a fountain for the blacklight room. Okay. So I brought it down. We're going to need to repair the damage to this portion here. But we're going to use the rib cage, neck and the head, the feet, and the wings. The tail and the back end, I don't know if I'm going to use or not. I may put those away for a different project or something. But we're going to rig this up so it can have its own pond in the blacklight room. And if I can rig it to run right, we're going to rig up the mouth and the eyes. The eyes actually glow red, and there's a sensor in the nose. When somebody walks by, it does a screeching noise and flaps the jaw. I want to try to leave that intact, but I also want water to come out the mouth too. So I am not too sure how I'm going to do that part. I'll mess with it once I get to that point. But we got to put a fountain in it. I got a couple things I need to do, repairs, and we got some other things that we're going to need to do in order to turn this into a fountain and have it glow the way I want it to glow in the blacklight room. So that's what this project is. We're going to be working on the dragon. Okay, been working on some test fitting, and we kind of got figured out what we want to do. I don't have anything permanently attached, no brackets made or anything. But decided to go with this. Now, if you remember right, when I did the hammering clown, I used part of a barrel for the head part of the mechanism. And that's the top half. And it's been sitting up in here taking up room. So we're going to use it for this. I went and notched it out. And I want to make it look like the dragon skeleton had just come out of a barrel of acid. So eventually when we move into paint, I'll be doing some signs on here saying toxic or hazardous waste or acid or something on the barrel, and then we'll light the barrel up with some of my UV lights or green floodlights. to light the barrel up. Other than that, I won't put any lights on the Dragon. I'll just be in the barrel. The Dragon itself, we're going to put great stuff on and just coat it down like the little miniature bulldogs. But now that we've got the basic idea of what we want to do, my next step in the process is up here in the roof. I got some square stock left over from doing the Jack-in-the-Box clown. We're going to get that down, and I've got to cut a piece to go from this foot to that foot. Now I can anchor the feet to, and then we'll run a shaft back here inside the barrel, and I'll do another cross T piece to attach the barrel to, and then we'll do another shaft that will come up and hold the pelvis at height. Because I am not going to use the feet in there. There's no point in having the feet in there. No one's going to see them anyway. So we're going to get that done, and now we'll get this all anchored into place, you know, with the way I want them to set and everything. Hopefully. Hopefully. That's always the hope. As far as supplies for this, most of the supplies I'm using for this prop is just stuff I've had laid around the shop. You know, from old projects or projects I bought supplies for and decided not to do and what have you. The only thing I'm going to need to buy is about 4 cans of great stuff and a couple of bolts. You know, to mount, you know, the feet and the pelvis and stuff too. Everything else I've already got in here in the shop and stuff. As to the tail, the connection for the tail is here, and the tab that used to be here broke off. So I might do something and reattach the tail and have the tail whipping around the side of the thing, or I might go without the tail. I don't know. I haven't decided that far yet. Still thinking about it. But that's the basic prop, what we're going to do. Now we got to start getting all the pieces put together and assembled. The great stuff and painting is, of course, the last steps we'll be doing. Right now it's getting all the brackets and stuff made. Well, progress made. It's day 2. It's Tuesday. Started yesterday. Did a few minor repairs here and there on the Dragon. I still have a few more I need to do, which I will do here in a bit, probably tomorrow. But I've been working on the frame, and it was real simple. I did a crossbar from this foot to that foot, and unfortunately those bolts are going to show. What I'm probably going to end up doing is piling up some great stuff around it, leaving me access to the bolt itself so I can get the bolts off, you know, if I can take the feet off. And then I did a crossbar from this one here to the back, and then did another crossbar with a support coming up that actually connects on his butt or his nether regions. He's a gelding now. So, you know, just real simple. Now I went and added these on, and you'll notice there's an assortment of holes on there. This is where the barrel attaches to, and I put the holes about every ½ inch on both sides, because I'm not exactly sure where I want to set that barrel at yet. Okay, we've had the set dresser out here. Sorry, I thought I was going to be getting attacked by a dog. Kaylee just came out. But I've had the set dresser out here, and we've been going over the Dragon and the barrel, trying to decide whether I should notch it out a little bit further here because it's hitting the ribs, so I can suck this up into here. And Sue Ann made a good point. I plan on great stuffing the Dragon as is, so that's going to fill up some of the gap. I am going to have to cut, now that I'm thinking about it, a little bit of a relief here because of that great stuff, but I can do that afterwards. We are also going to put some great stuff on the barrel as well, so that will help. You know, there'll still be a little bit of a gap there, and I don't mind a little bit of a gap. We were also talking about the tail. It's broken. You know, there's the top of it up there. It's broken right here. so I can't bend it the other way. And the tab's broken off on it here where it joined the body. So what we were thinking about doing, because no one's ever going to see the back end of it, is maybe just drilling a hole here and putting a block there to hold the tail into place. That way I can mount it to the barrel and still have it. And then maybe, sorry, wonky camera angle, have the tail, you know, something like that curved off to the side, and I can even bend it around on the peg a little bit so it at least has his tail. And I can grade stuff the tail and stuff too, so it'd just be a separate part. You know, it's something we're talking about. You know, things in the drawing board, we're working on them as we get to them. For right now, though, the only other thing, two things I need to worry about tonight is I need to figure out which hole I'm going to use on the bracket and drill a hole to correspond here so I can mount the barrel on both sides. Fun, because I'm not sure which hole I want to use yet. Still working on that one, but we're getting there. But anyway, we got to get the barrel mounted. Then I need to totally disassemble the Dragon off the framework. I got to get the two front feet off, the ass piece off, and the barrel off the frame. I want to give it a coat of paint tonight so it's dry by morning, because that frame is going to be sitting in water, and after sitting in water for several weeks, it's going to start to rust, and I don't want to be sitting here sanding it down every year or remaking it every couple of years because it's rusted out. So I was thinking about painting it. I'd also thought about maybe grate stuffing it too, but I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. Okay, it's Thursday. I'm almost done with mock-up. I figure I'd show you what I've gotten done, or haven't gotten done yet. I just got done working on the wings up here. I'm still going through making repairs. This wing is okay, but when this thing originally fell and broke, it twisted on this side, breaking the shoulder and cracking the tab that goes down in here to hold it in place. With working on it out here, that tab finally broke off. So I went and took 2 sheets of this and some scrap left over from another project. Glued it together with Gorilla Glue, traced out my tab, and I just got done cutting it out. And so just a little wood tab that slides down in here. I got a screw there to hold it. And then the other part of the tab goes up in here into this part, and I just put some screws in there. And it's holding. It's should do the trick. I just got to remember when I do one of my later steps not to cover the screw holes on either this portion or this portion. Haven't decided which ones yet, or I won't be able to remove that wing without cutting it off, and I don't want to cut it off. I also did some screws here to hold the shoulder because it was just cracked. Well, with putting it back together, it ended up breaking off all the way. So I went up to Ace and got some threaded rod that goes all the way from this shoulder over to that shoulder. And we put a couple of locking nut bolts on it. So now that's permanently attached. That shoulder not only holds the wing up into place, it also holds the leg. So we did that. I also got in here and we got the metal frame painted, bottom as well. Since this is going to be sitting in water, I didn't want it rusting. Then I screwed up. I decided I wanted the lights, the mouth, and everything to work. Problem is, it was battery operated. I was going to get in like I do with most of my battery operated stuff. Take the batteries out and wire a lead on it so I could tie it into my power box, my power station, and it would run it. Thing is, in order to do that, I have to take the battery box out. The battery box was permanently attached to the plate there, and I didn't even think about it. So I got in with my Dremel, traced around the outside of it, went to pull battery box out, and come to find out the motor and the mechanism and everything that makes this thing animated is attached to the back of the battery box. And with the battery box loose, the jaw doesn't work. It will still make its noise and the eyes will light up, but the jaw won't work. So I decided to go back to my original plan. I am going to turn it into a fountain. Now with the various pumps I've got, all of them came with different types of fountain heads. And I found one I kind of like. This one's kind of like a shower effect. So I went and mounted it, some 1/8" plywood, or Luan, and then used 2 screws on either side to hold it. And I don't know if you can see it in there, but you can see the hose running through and dropping down. Once this is done, this part here going down won't be seen, the barrel will be in there, and I'll hide the pump inside the barrel. Right now it can just hang loose. But got that part done, so it's ready to go. I haven't tested it yet, and I'm not going to test it until I get it all the way finished. It should work. It's the same setup I use on all my fountains. And the only other prep step I need to do is the barrel. And I spent some time last night cutting out some templates. I've got this one here. Let's see, where's my other one in? I think there it is. Yeah, sorry, I cut out that one, biohazard, and then the radiation symbol. And I gotta get this traced on to the barrel. I'm gonna do it on each side, and then put the radiation symbol in a couple of different spots too, so it can be painted. And I need to get that done before I can do the next step. The next step, after I get the barrel done, which won't take long, is one of the Hunter's Friends. A lot of us use this for different types of prop building. Product placement. Great stuff. Now, if you saw the vlogs, it's been a couple of years back, when I did the little skeletal bulldogs, I took this great stuff, wearing gloves, sprayed the great stuff on my gloves, and then just simply went over and wiped it all over the skeleton and let it dry. When I first put it on, it didn't look like much, but if you're familiar with great stuff, it swells as it dries, and it gave it a nice look. I'm going to do the whole skeleton that way. I might not put any on the horns or the toenails. I might do something different with them. I'm not sure. But the whole thing's got to get coated. And then I'm also going to do some on the barrel as well, but I need to have the biohazard and the radiation symbol on there so I know where I'm working, what I'm working with. I want it to look like he's coming out of a vat of acid of some sort. So, but anyway, that's as far as we've gotten. Right now, I just got done doing the last of my repairs on this guy, so he's good to go. He's ready for great stuff. I just need to get that biohazard and the radiation symbol on the barrel. Okay, I got the biohazard and the radiation symbols on the barrel, and I went ahead and got my gloves on, opened up a can of great stuff, and I started out by doing a bead around the rim, and just went through with my hands and kind of patted it to roughen it up. For the rest of the lid and on the side, which I just got done with, I basically just sprayed it in my hand and just went through and patted it on, smeared it a little bit, and now we gotta let it dry. That's one method I do on it, and it gives you kind of a sporadic look through it. There'll be some bumps here and other areas will be kind of clear. Once this is set up all the way, and since today's Thursday for me, I go out of town tomorrow for work, I'm going to set this off the side. We'll let it dry over the weekend, and then Monday when I get back out here, I can take a look at it and see, if it needs any more, if I want to do any more sort of detail. I kind of want, some of the barrel itself to show. My thinking is, I don't know if I'm going to do it yet or not, but on the back bracket for the dragon, I was thinking about hanging a couple of lights in here so the barrel will glow. And if I coat it down too much with grape foam, the barrel won't glow because it'll be covered. So I want some sporadic on it. Painting is going to be fun. I'll have to be all done by brush, and I'll just go through and highlight areas I want highlighted, and we'll leave the rest as is. But with this done, now I got to move it off to the side so I can get the dragon over here, and we'll start going over it as well, doing the same thing. It doesn't take long. It took me all of 10 minutes to do the barrel. Dragon is a little bit more complicated. Okay, just getting done with dinner and getting back out here. Still in the process of doing some grape foam, or grape stuff on here. But I figured I'd give you a little bit closer look. This stuff has been setting up for over an hour. It's dry to the touch. It dries fairly quick. I may come back through and put some more on the lip around it. Maybe do some drips down it too. I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet. As to the dragon, we got him gucked up pretty good. I still have the wings to do. I'm getting ready to do that now. And it's been sitting for about an hour as well. But we got him pretty much covered. The wings are going to end up looking like the body is. The fountain, you can't even see the plywood. I may come in and trim that down, or I may leave it. I don't know. I'll think about it over the weekend. Now I am going to have a little bit of slicing and dicing I'm going to need to do on this. Like right here, there's a joint here that I need free. That way I can separate the body from the legs. So I got that joint there and the joint over there. I'll just take a razor blade to it and I'll free that up. When I go to do the wings, I'm going to have the same problem. I've got a joint here. This whole upper half of the wing comes off. I'll have to take a razor blade to it too to get through the great stuff. All in all, she's turning out pretty good. Get the wings done and coated tonight, and then Monday the dragon will be ready for paint. What I have gotten done is we've got the dragon all disassembled again. I've gone through and cleaned up the joints and a couple other spots I didn't want the foam on. So that part is ready for paint. The barrel is also ready for paint. And I wanted to bring up one of the side projects because it kind of ties into this project in a way. And that's these here. These are all the fasteners for my foam panels. And as you notice, I got 4 bags here that aren't painted. The rest of these are all painted to match the wall panels we got done, which is the old torture chamber, the photo hall, the water room, the pirate display, and God, what was the other one? There was another one. Oh, Jesus. I can't think of it right now. But we've got 5 different sets out of the 9 repainted. So when I repainted them, I repainted the fasteners so the fasteners would blend in. Now I still have Spider, Witch, Clown, and Cemetery. They have not been painted. I haven't even touched them, and I explained that in the last video why I haven't. Well, one of these bags, one bag holds enough fasteners for 1 set. One of these bags is, like I said, for the spider display. And the spider display has a mix of white, yellow, and neon and fluorescent green on it. The fasteners need to be sprayed fluorescent green. Since I'm going to be using fluorescent green on the dragon, and I'm going to have to spray everything white before I can spray the green, I figured I could drag these out and do these at the same time. You know, I go to spray the white on the dragon, I spray the white on this. Once both are dry, and I go to do the green, I can do the green on the dragon and do the green on this. So that's one of the side projects. And when we started out, this hopper was completely full. You know, I had just thrown them in, they were all mixed up. Every year I have to sit down and sort the colors out. So I've been kind of doing that as we've been doing we're working on the wall panels. And there were some that needed to be replaced. Some of the panels got increased in numbers. The photo hallway, that was the other one, the photo hallway. Originally when I did that one, I used a metal washer instead of these plastic washers. Well, I switched it out and we switched over to plastic. As a result, we ended up with not enough screws, hence the 4 bags. So sometime between now and Halloween, I'm going to have to get in here and get these repainted. I do know the spider, like I said, I'm going to do now. The witch, I am going to have to do at a later date, or sometime this summer, because half of it's yellow, half of it's brown. That's the coloring on the witch. I will not get to working on those 2 sets this year. I might have time, however, to do the clown and the cemetery and get those repainted this year. I'm not sure, so I'm going to hold off on painting those until the end of August, and it doesn't take long. It's very long to paint these damn things. It takes longer for them to sit and dry than anything else. But I am going to pull out the spider, one for the spider. We're going to get them set up. Now, I showed you how I did that in one of the foam panel updates earlier in the season. And we're going to get those painted. We're going to get started on paint. Now, as to painting, I'm going to use my big sprayer. We're going to go through on the dragon, and we're going to spray everything white. Get every part of the dragon sprayed white. Let it dry, and I'll come back through with my sprayer again with fluorescent green in it, and we'll spray the whole thing fluorescent green. Let it dry. Then I'm going to be digging out some other colors, and we're going to come back in through here with my little airbrush, and we'll start doing some detail work on each piece. That'll make this thing pop. So we'll be doing that. As to the barrel, on the other hand, I can't do that with it. I can't spray the whole thing down in white and then the whole thing in green with my big sprayer, because I'm thinking about possibly putting lights inside the barrel so the barrel will glow. If I coat the whole thing in white and then another coat of paint, it's not going to glow. So I think I am going to use my little airbrush, and we'll go over and hit spots and pieces of it in green, and leaving some of the plastic to show through. And then we'll do the same thing with the coloring. I'll come back with some different colors, and we'll get it detailed up. And the biohazard signs as well need to be done as well too. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the radiation symbol and the lettering in paint and leave the background clear so it glows, which is an interesting idea, or do the lettering and then paint the background in like I've done on my other barrels. I haven't gotten that far. It depends on how the mood strikes me. Okay, painting's coming along. We had a slight problem. On this shelf in here, right there, that's all my fluorescent paints. I bought them a couple of years back when I was just getting into fluorescent. I get it from dickblick.com. You get in a half-gallon jug for like, $40, something like that. And it's not that bad. It's not the high-priced stuff. But anyway, I was sorting through colors and pulled out what I wanted to use on the dragon. I had enough yellow, enough blue, orange, red, and true red. I thought I had more green, but that's all I had. And it wasn't enough to do both the dragon and the barrel out there. So what I ended up doing, and I think I got to match fairly well color-wise, I went and got some regular green paint that I used on the clown panel wall, the clown panels for the clown hallway, and got that green out. And then I took a little over a half a jug of fluorescent yellow, mixed in with it, and got that color green. I figured, okay, that'll work great. So I painted the dragon in that green. Now I'm thinking, depending on how it looks when it dries, I may come back through with some yellow and just give it a slight dusting so that yellow will fluoresce a little bit. But I know this green won't. Regular latex green won't fluoresce even if you put fluorescent in it. But that's a start. We got this part done. I got some touch-ups here and there. Well, we got a little bit of progress. Actually, a lot of progress made today. It's going on after 5 o'clock. And we got the green shot, and then I went back over with a fluorescent red. Color was a true red. And it comes out, as you can see right there, fairly bright, but when it dries it turns into that. And we got the body, the wings, the tail, the pelvis, and the front feet done. Feet were the last thing I did, and as you can see there's still a lot of wet spots there. Now, my thought was basically I wanted the red down in the crevices, but I wanted a bit of glow on the surface too, so I went ahead and covered it with red. You can still see the green peeking through it, which is kind of what we wanted. Now tonight, before I make a decision on whether I'm going to give it another coat of red or not, and I really don't want to, I think we're going to, once it gets dark, I'm going to bring a black light out, and we'll test to see how the pieces do under black light. If I do decide it needs something more, I think instead of doing red and covering up the green, I'm going to turn to my yellow, fluorescent yellow, which is very opaque. And I'll put that in my big sprayer, and I'll just give all the parts, a light dusting with yellow. And then when it dries with whatever red I've got on there, these things should pop. And I want the dragon to pop. If it works fine tonight, I won't do that. And then tomorrow we can get in here, and I've got the horns and the teeth and the fountainhead and stuff that needs to be detailed yet, and that'll be tomorrow. As to the barrel turned out a lot easier. We did fluorescent green on the foam, and down where it was a little bit calmer I did blue. The reason why I did green and blue is I wanted it to match the other barrels I have in my water room, or semi-match. The Biohazard, on the other hand, I've got two coats, and that is fluorescent red, and it looks more like fluorescent pink. I've got two coats on there. I think once that dries, I'm probably going to come back tomorrow and put another one, maybe two coats on it. And then once that dries, I have to come back through and outline everything in black. But other than that, the barrel's done. Okay, it's just a little bit after 9. It was dark enough. We brought a black light. I just had the set dress runner. She just headed into the house. We were checking the dragons and the barrels. And they work. And I'll shut the light off and give you a glimpse of them here. Okay, I don't know if I'm showing up or not. But here's a look at the barrel underneath black light, and it is fluorescent. And then we'll swing around to the dragon. Okay, so he is fluorescing good. I don't need to do anything else to him with the fluorescent paint. So we're going to call him good that way. I'm calling the barrel's almost done. I still want to take I want to put one more coat of paint on Biohazard, and then I've got to get it outlined, and then the barrel will be done. So that will get done tomorrow. You know, even without the black light, you know, it looks kind of like a faded out red, but you get that black light on it, and it does pop. So not too bad for a day's work. We got the green on, we got the red fluorescent on, and we got green fluorescent, blue fluorescent, and fluorescent red, more like hot pink, on the signs, or you know, the signs done. So we got a lot accomplished out here. Well, painting's been done for a little over an hour now. Right now I'm just letting things dry real good. We got the barrel done, and then all the dragon parts are done. We'll get over here so you can see the face of the dragon. So everything is finished with this stage. Now, we've got to get it reassembled on the pole, and I need to get a water pump hooked up for it. In fact, where did I put it? Right here. This is the little pump we're going to use here for the fountain, and we need to get it outside, and we got to test the fountain, see if the fountain's going to work the way I want it to. Should be interesting. We got that to do, and then we're pretty much done with the project. So I think, I don't know if we're going to do a nighttime reveal. It's kind of hard with this thing set up, you know, all the way to do a night shot with it underneath black light. I have to kind of do it out on the patio, and it doesn't get dark enough out there. We got too many lights around, so no nighttime reveal on this. Okay, I'm calling the project officially done. Got the pump hooked up in the pool, and right now I have the hose stretched out over the barrel. When this is in the haunt, the hose will run down inside the barrel, and the pump will be in the barrel, so you won't even see it in there. But she's all hooked up, and we have the fountain working. And the nice thing is I got a shut-off valve on the hose coming from the pump going up to the fountain. If I don't want such a heavy flow in the haunt, I can adjust the valve and it won't shoot out quite as far. But there you go. There's the final look. And it'll be fun to see it all lit up with black light once we get it in the haunt. Other than that quickie view you got in my shop. But with that, I'm going to bring this vlog to a close. Next vlog, more than likely going to be a hodgepodge of stuff. My last new prop I need to make. I'm waiting for some parts to be delivered for it, so until they get in I can't do it. So we've got some other projects that we can work on, so we'll be doing those in the next vlog. A couple of week time frame more than likely. Stay spooky, stay toxic.